What's the very first thing you can remember? Maybe a birthday, a toy, your first day of school. Now try to remember being 1 year old, or 6 months old, or the day you were born. You can't, and neither can anyone else, which is strange because some of the most important events of your life happened during those years. You learned language, you learned how to walk, you learned who your family was. Your brain was absorbing information faster than it ever would again, yet almost none of it can be remembered. So where did those memories go? Did they get deleted? Were they never stored in the first place? The answer is more fascinating than you might think. Scientists call this phenomenon infantile amnesia. It's the reason almost nobody can remember events from the first few years of life. But here's the weird part. Babies absolutely can form memories. If they couldn't, they'd never learn anything. A baby remembers faces, voices, smells, routines. They recognize parents and learn from experiences. So memory isn't the problem. The problem is access. Imagine writing thousands of files onto a computer using one operating system. Then years later trying to open those files with a completely different operating system. The files still exist, but accessing them becomes incredibly difficult. Something similar may happen in the human brain. When you're a baby, your brain is still under construction. Neural connections are forming at incredible speeds. In fact, a baby's brain creates more than 1 million new neural connections every second. That's an astonishing amount of growth. It's like trying to renovate an entire city while people are actively living in it. Roads are constantly changing. Buildings are being rebuilt. Maps become outdated almost immediately. The same thing happens inside your brain. The systems responsible for creating long-term autobiographical memories aren't fully developed yet. One important structure is the hippocampus. This part of the brain helps organize and store memories. In babies, it's still maturing. Imagine trying to save important documents on a computer that's still being assembled. Some information gets stored, some doesn't, and some becomes difficult to retrieve later. But that's only part of the story. Language also plays a huge role. Think about how you remember events today. Most memories are connected to words. You tell yourself stories, you describe experiences, you organize events into a narrative. Babies can't do that. A 1-year-old doesn't think, "Today I went to the park and saw a dog." They experience the event, but they don't yet have the language needed to package it into the kind of memory adults can easily recall. It's almost like taking thousands of photographs but never labeling them. Years later, finding the exact picture becomes incredibly difficult. Then there's another surprising possibility. Some scientists believe early memories may not be completely gone. Instead, they're buried beneath layers of brain development. The experiences help shape who you became, even if you can't consciously replay them. Think of the foundation of a skyscraper. You can't see it. Most people never think about it, yet the entire building depends on it. Your earliest experiences may work the same way. They're hidden from view, but they helped build the person you are today. What's fascinating is that childhood memories don't suddenly appear overnight. Most people only start forming lasting memories between the ages of 3 and 5. Even then, many early memories are blurry and incomplete. So the reason you can't remember being a baby isn't because nothing happened. It's because your brain was still learning how to remember. And while those first years may be locked away from conscious recall, they were some of the most important years of your life. You may not remember becoming you, but that's exactly what was happening.